Doomsday is the destruction, Secret Wars is the genesis. You gotta think, okay, well then how do you top that? The way an Endgame topped Infinity War is you gotta have people like the 3 Spider-Men in it, you know? One of those that we know from the 2015 map of Battleworld could be Arachnia. And you could include Andrew, Tom, Toby. You could also include like Donald Glover from just that appearance that he made in live action in those Spider-Verse movies. You could have a live action Miles who exists in that universe. And that could just be like one of our teams of heroes in Avengers Secret Wars. And that team could be led even by Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield, Peter Parker returning in Avengers Secret Wars? Rumors. This is the Rumor Rundown, where the hosts of New Rockstars investigate the wildest rumors and hot takes that nerds and newsmen cannot make heads or tails of, applying our own backgrounds in journalism and Hollywood connections, and finally confirming whether those rumors are honest scoops or bullshit poops. We are Erik, Voss, and Jessica Clemons.
Poop, scoop, scoop.
Let's go. Joshua Horowitz, our man.
I love Josh.
Asking the right questions. God bless you, Joshua. God put you on this earth to just do the Lord's work, and you are delivering, my man. Hey, be sure to watch everything that we're doing here in the New Rockstars Network. Last week, we went to some interesting theories about what could be in the Doomsday trailer. It was really funny. One of these scoop accounts went around on Twitter and basically said, here's some early reports of what will be in the Doomsday trailer, and literally watched this episode and transcribed it. I think with
crazy.
I think with ChatGPT, they transcribed what we pitched in our segment and like beat for beat, and everyone was calling them out on it, and they're like, but I did in the follow-up tweet. And honestly, when it comes to theories, I don't care if you cite me or not. Theories, in my opinion, theories are just blah blah blah. You can't copyright a theory, but
scoop, and I think that's a perfect example of how we should take a lot of scoopers.
I think that's right. It was like it was demonstrated exactly what we're trying to say on this show, but I think it also shows how I think this show is coming up in the world. People are looking at it as a real source of information. So I think I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know. I mean,
go ahead and do it again.
Do it again. We dare you. We dare you. And subscribe to the new Witching Hour channel that we're doing here in the New Rockstars Network. Some really, really cool stuff coming out there. Tomorrow, you'll be able to see me do some goofy shit talking about long legs. Okay, you ready for our first rumor? Mm-hmm. It's really our only rumor this episode because it's a big one.
Okay.
And I feel like this will be the start of something new. Feels so right being here with you. All right, let's go. Rumor number 1. Andrew Garfield could return as his version of Peter Parker in Avengers Secret Wars in 2027. This comes from Joshua Horowitz on behalf of MTV interviewing Andrew Garfield for his film After the Hunt. Let's play the clip because Andrew Garfield's body language will say more than either of us ever could.
Here's my theory. I'm going to probably see you in Secret Wars. Okay. I'm going to see you in Secret Wars.
Okay.
And what I'm excited about, the body language experts are going to come out. Andrew, careful.
See, what is this? Is this a tell or what is it? You'll find out. Whatever response I'm having.
5 years, we'll know.
Is it exasperation? Is it, I don't know. You'll find out.
I would be excited to see you mix it up with some new, like you and Hugh Jackman would be amazing. You and Wolverine.
Yeah, I love Hugh Jackman. Yeah,
Is there anybody we don't know, but like that you would be excited to mix it up with it now that you're in the MCU?
I don't know. I don't know. I really love the Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah.
You know, I love Lord and Miller. Just putting that out there. I love Wolverine. I love Hugh. Tom Hardy's obviously a really formidable actor.
Why is he only choosing the Sony? He's so good. He's so trained.
I don't know.
You're open to all.
I'm up for a good time.
Oh, our man's up for a good time. Well, so are we, Andrew Garfield. Come on the show. Come on, New Rockstars.
Oh, yes, please. It was so funny. We went to a Lakers game, and when you work at Spotify, if you go to those games, you get to go to the box seats. It was the one game that Andrew Garfield was there, and when we all exited, he was stopped by almost everybody, and he was just like, oh, hi, hello, hi, and he was being so nice. I feel so bad for anyone that plays Spider-Man because now you are like, you're gonna be hunted down, and you're gonna be reminded that you play Spider-Man no matter what you do.
Was Andrew Garfield courtside or was he in a box?
He was courtside,
yeah.
But we all left like in the same, like we have an escalator. feel like a rich person. We had an escalator.
A golden escalator, Jessica says.
Actually,
you heard it here.
It's crazy. You got a gold dove that you have to put in your pocket as quick as you possibly can. I also think that Andrew Garfield is very well media trained, and he had to be playing Spider-Man. Like, I feel like out of all the Spider-Men, he was the one that was pretty good at keeping a secret.
Ow, no way.
Out of all of the others?
Toby was the one we never heard from. Toby went into some cabin in the woods somewhere, and no one saw or heard from him.
I will be honest, I put Toby to the side because we know Toby.
Okay.
We know what Toby was doing.
We know. I mean, obviously, Tom Holland's the worst at it.
Yeah.
He's like born to spoil. Andrew Garfield, though, he tried his best. But now Joshua Horowitz, it's the same guy who interviewed him back in 2021 ahead of Spider-Man No Way Home. They had the whole werewolf exchange. It's happening again. And Joshua Horowitz is trying to manifest it.
100%.
That's what I love about this, because I bet they haven't even fully locked in the casting for Avengers Secret Wars at this point. But like, Joshua Horowitz knows what he's doing here. He's trying to manifest it. He's trying to make it like so that other people like us talk about it. And then people who work at Marvel Studios are aware of it from when New Rockstars talks about it and says, this is what the fans want. Let's see if we can make this happen. But I think it's already part of their possible options.
I think it's definitely possible. I also think, Josh Horowitz so good being like the body language. Like Josh Horowitz is very good at crying. He did it really well with James Gunn. James Gunn will be just silent and just smile, and he'll be like, we can both stand here and be quiet and smile until you answer the question. And I'm like, ooh, I'm too nervous to do that. Josh is very good. I think it's possible also because we know lightly it's going to be Idris, right? Dames and Idris?
We think.
Also, he was not good at trying to hide it on was it Tonight Show?
It was Today's Show.
Was it Today?
Yeah.
Poor
it was
baby.
So referring to the concept art for Battle World for an alternate universe T'Challa that uses the likeness of Damson Idris. He was asked about this on the Today Show, and he had some kind of teasing response where he goes, maybe. You know, one of those
but
things.
It was a little too, I was like, oh, maybe you guys should look for it, because it was a little like, oh yeah. He like kept talking like he was nervous to answer it. And I'm like, yeah, we could see I think it would be nice to see other variations. Again, if we're going to get other variants, other world types of different characters, I think it should still extend to people that are, Black Panther aside, still alive in ours. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have Tom Holland Spider-Man. We should see another Spider-Man again. 100%. We're only seeing it with the X-Men. We're like bringing the X-Men back. But I'm like, no, I want to see what the counterparts of other people. I want to see Wanda in a different reality again.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, like, if there is another Doctor Strange, I want to see the other Doctor Strange too. I just want there to be options for the characters. If Doom is literally taking people from different walks of life or different universes or realities, whatever, I want that to show. And putting him in there would absolutely show that.
Yeah, I think that is kind of the promise of Secret Wars, that's the way you top Doomsday, based off of what we know about Doomsday. Doomsday is the destruction. Secret Wars is a genesis. I think, like, from what we know of Doomsday, these worlds are colliding. There are incursions. We'll see the deaths of a lot of old universe characters, but if they aren't confirmed to be in Doomsday, the way the X-Men from the Fox era are confirmed to be in Doomsday, you got to think, okay, well, then how do you top that? The way Endgame topped Infinity War is you got to have people like the three Spider-Men in it, you know? You
or at least one of the three. I don't know.
At least one of the, I don't know if Toby comes
Andrew
back.
Can.
Yeah. So if I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here, and we'll get back to like examining the body language and then just the way Joshua Horowitz is so brilliant by even asking these questions the way he does. But like, so Doomsday, three worlds collide. They're already kind of opened up to each other. Dr. Doom is slaughtering a lot of them. You know, we see those universes be destroyed. Some of them survive. Some of them are able to get ahead of Dr. Doom. But Doomsday ends with like the creation of Battleworld, you know? So then Secret Wars takes place in Battleworld, where we get to see this multiversal continent of different chunks of different land masses that are now fused together. One of those that we know from the 2015 map of Battleworld could be Arachnia. So Arachnia is basically a version of New York City that has a history similar to Earth 616 history. However, some big differences is that Gwen Stacy is still alive, and that Norman Osborn, who killed Gwen Stacy, is now like mayor of New York in this alternate reality. And it contains a lot of other alternate Spider-Men in it. You have a version of Peter Parker, you have Anya Corazon, you have Billy Braddock, you have Peviter Propakar, Gwen Stacy, the Spider-Man, Peter Parker from Earth 90214, and then Spider-Ham, Peter Porker. So it's in this comic, it's similar to what you might consider the animated Spider-Verse movies to be, which could be a clue for what Andrew Garfield says here, saying that he likes those, Lord and Miller Spider-Man movies. But they could do a live action version of this and have a universe where like all the live action Spider-Man we've seen, and you could include Andrew, Tom, Toby. You could also include like Donald Glover from just that appearance that he made in live action in those Spider-Verse movies. You could have a live action Miles who exists in that universe. And that could just be like one of our teams of heroes in Avengers Secret Wars. And that team could be led even by Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker.
Yeah, so it'd be Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man world. So we'd have Jamie Foxx's Electro. Not necessarily be there, but it's Jamie Foxx's Electro's world. Okay.
Yeah, I think if you bring back any villain for a live action Arachnia, you'd have Willem Dafoe. You would have Willem Dafoe, Norman Osborn as the mayor of that city.
Yeah, we'd have I barely remember Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. So sorry, Andrew Garfield. I saw him when I was in high school.
The 2012, 2014. Yeah. That's where you have Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy.
We have Emma Stone,
you have Dennis Leary as Liz as her father. You have
we have Lizard.
You have Lizard.
And then
you
we
have Electro.
But then we have Rhino.
Yeah, you have Paul Giamatti as Rhino at the end.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we didn't actually see any Norman Osborn.
Well, you had Chris Cooper playing Norman Osborn, who was sick and dying. His son, Harry Osborn, played by Dane DeHaan in the second film, who became Goblin by the end of the second film. And a very cringy performance,
I don't remember
would
the
say.
second one that much. Okay. Either way. Okay. So yes.
Sounds like we need to do a rewatch.
If you guys did rewatch I love the.
Who's ready for a rewatch? I assume if we are barking up the right tree here and Andrew Garfield is confirmed, we will go back and break down those Spider. I know we already kind of did a rewatch in 2020, but I didn't go that hard into them. I could go much harder into them.
100%.
Yeah. So I don't know if everybody from all those movies will show up, but we'll have, because it's not like any one of their universes. It's like a new version of New York Arachnia that has
we're talking about
some of them in it.
Okay.
So like, yeah, sure, maybe you do have Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone in there as like the rumors and leaks for 2021's No Way Home were implying we'd see. We never got to see the love interests. Maybe they do show up here. It just depends how big of a budget they're willing to commit to, especially if a lot of these X-Men actors are not going to be showing up in Secret Wars. It does free up some of the budget.
Yeah.
If you assume similar budgets for both. But you will, Robert Downey Jr.'s fee for playing Doctor Doom is applied to both of these movies. So, not to say he's already covered, but like when we're starting to add up the numbers, we got to start to add up things around there. Yeah. So, yeah. I guess there's a version of this where Secret Wars is split into two films after Doomsday. Do you think, let's talk about that. Is that possible? Or are they going to try to do all of Doomsday or all of Secret Wars in one film, as the Russos have maintained that they are still planning to do?
I assume they would, only because I thought of it as like, this is already part 1 is Doomsday and part 2 is Secret Wars.
Yeah. That's
how I was already seeing it. But if they did split into 2, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if they did that. Feels like a very Netflix model way of handling things, but I don't know if they will.
Yeah, I think most people would react to that with a bit of exhaustion. They're like, we've waited so long for these movies. Like, we want to just see what happens.
That's the problem. It couldn't be too long. They couldn't be separated too long. It could not be like over a year.
Like a back-to-back year. Like, there could be a scenario where we get Doomsday at the end of 2026. They delay Secret Wars to 2028, but then they do it like 2028 in the spring or in the winter, and then May 2029 would be Secret Wars Part 2. Kind of like the final Harry Potter movie was split within 6 months of each other.
I could even do spring and winter. But it can't do what they're doing with Spider-Verse right
Beyond.
now.
Yeah.
They can't. They're losing me. I love that he also quoted. He was like, Lord and Miller. I think that was a part of that was really telling. Is I'm like, I feel like Andrew Garfield's been in the business long enough that he's aware. He's clearly aware that there's the MCU, Disney's MCU, and then there's Marvel, Sony. So, but he strictly did only choose the Sony characters, and I don't know if that's more on his just press etiquette of like, I'm gonna only address the Spider-Man and those characters that are in my side of Marvel, not the other ones. It wasn't until Josh brought up Wolverine that he included Wolverine. So I'm like, oh, are you smart that you know the characters that are over here in Disney's Marvel and Sony's Marvel? Or is it that they're keeping you only around Sony characters? If he did show up in like our MCU movie.
Bringing up Tom Hardy was a weird one.
Because that's weird. That's what I... No offense, Tom Hardy. No offense, Tom Hardy.
I think he just looks at him as an actor that he respects. That's been, part of the Sony family of these films.
But I'm sure that there's someone also in Marvel that is a great actor that you would have wanted to work with too. But the examples you gave me were only Sony Marvel characters.
Maybe Andrew Garfield just really doesn't like Phase 4 and 5 of the MCU.
Yeah, he's one of them.
Say, Andrew Garfield, what'd you think of She-Hulk? And he goes, what? I didn't see it.
He goes, yeah, he could have said Tom Hiddleston. He could have been like, I really love Tom Hiddleston.
I want to work with Loki.
I'm sure Charlie Cox, didn't he live together with him? He could have been like, yeah, I love my boy Charlie.
Well, maybe they don't want to work together.
I'm sure they saw some gross things in Venice together.
Okay, so didn't we pitch this as like an Entourage-esque pilot at some point on one of these shows? Like you could do... who else lived with them? It was Hiddleston.
I think Robert Pattinson was there.
Pattinson lived there.
The guy that plays whatchamacallit in the Sandman series. He was the last one.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne was there. What a weird flat.
And the guy from the sex movie with Dakota Johnson. The book that became a big movie. Oh my god.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey.
And
that
he was
guy.
in that British show with Gillian Anderson.
Sex Education?
No,
I said Sex Education.
The crime movie where he plays a serial killer.
Oh, I don't know a lot of movies that man is in, unfortunately. I only know him in, I think he's in Barb and whatever, Go to Miami with Kristen Wiig. Yeah.
Jamie Dornan was the other one who lived with them. Bring up the photo.
Bring up the photo.
Look at this bowling photo of these pasty men from the UK who are all going to be famous someday.
The scarves, and they all are going to be famous one day. Though even the last one to become like well known still is like in the Sandman and doing a great job.
Just imagine a shot of them all in a car driving down the PCH, and you just hear, yeah, oh yeah, I want to be a superhero. They should call it Entourage.
But the problem is,
HBO reboot this show.
The problem is, and Brian, edit this out maybe. There we got the Pussy Posse, and then we got the British Posse, and I think that's why I'm like, Entourage was absolutely Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, and whoever the last one is. These were like the classy versions of them, I think. I want to
call
believe...
it whatever you want. Have the Downton Abbey music play over it. I don't care, reboot it. Like, this should be a Ryan Murphy anthology series that we do of the different posses who all became famous someday. Like, we've seen this with, like, Live from New York. They did the movie like that. They should, they should do this. They should.
No, they don't want to revisit that time. But also...
those actors
he
are
loves,
like,
but he
not.
literally was friends with Charlie Cox. That's why I'm like, you could have gave him as even an example.
Yeah. So and they were both in that movie together. They were both in No Way Home together. They didn't share a scene together, but they were both in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they knew that the other one was in it? My guess is no.
No. As soon as they saw the movie, Charlie definitely texted him. And was like,
my roommate
wait
is
a minute.
in this.
Wait a minute. I'm sure that whatchamacallit knew though, because he probably got the script pages, right? Or do you think the pages were
I think
just
it was
for that?
separated.
Yeah.
I bet just for, deniability.
You're right.
Little good that deniability did when it came to that werewolf question. Which brings us back, I think, to the way Joshua posed this question. The way Joshua's so good is he's just so likable, and he'll even laugh through the question. But then when he asks the question, he puts a period and he lets the silence sit for a second because he knows that a lot of people are just uncomfortable with the silence and they'll start to say something. But as the interviewer, I've had to learn this because I don't think I'm that good of an interviewer. I'll just keep talking and I'll keep answering the question for them. And I think I need to put a period at the end of that question mark and just kind of be okay with silence. Also, Joshua Horowitz has been doing this so long, he's not limited by just 4 minutes of junket time, you know? So, but either way, he does let that silence sit. And then he'll ask a good follow-up that's very short and just designed to get them to have an authentic reaction. Mm-hmm. The way he did that to Daniel Craig to get that confirmation about Baldur the Brave, I thought was a masterclass in interviewing. But so there's that. Looking at Andrew Garfield now, how do you think this compares to his werewolf answer? He's the one who originated, so I'm playing the game of werewolf, and you're like, I'm not the werewolf, I'm not the werewolf. Here, he's just kind of giggling, and when he's saying, you'll find out, he's talking about whether his behavior in this interview is a tell for anything. Mm-hmm. He's not saying you'll find out if I'm in Secret Wars, as a lot of aggregators are now saying. He was saying no. He's saying me giggling right now, is it a tell for anything? You'll find out if it's a tell.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a real scoop saying that this is a clue that he is in Secret Wars, but just him being so giddy and him kind of mentally returning to that place he was 4 years ago when Joshua Horowitz was asking him about werewolves, I think is kind of a scoop here, that like he's in that similar kind of nervousness that he was in when Joshua and Jimmy Fallon asked him these questions. So anything to note from that? Do we think that like he's at least met with Marvel potentially?
I think he's always in conversation with Marvel. I think a better perspective of this is, which is maybe a mean thing to say, is you kind of look at what they're coming out with. And Andrew Garfield for a very long time has been doing a lot of low budgeter things. Like he's doing a lot of stage stuff. He's doing a lot of movies that require like so many skills, all these things that he's doing that is so great, but the pay isn't as anywhere equivalent to what Marvel might be paying him, if that makes sense. This is how I notice when Doctor Strange is lying, when Benedict Cumberbatch is lying about things. I look at how many movies he has just released over the years that are things that he wanted to do, all the stage things he wanted to do, and then you go, oh, he's ready to do another Marvel movie because he wants to make that money so he can go do other things that he wants to do. Andrew Garfield has been doing this for a very long time. Andrew Garfield has been doing movies that he really wants to do. So if he does show up in Secret Wars, I would not be surprised because it's time to get that really big influx of cash that can coast while he still gets to do the work that he really wants to do.
Do you think I haven't looked up these guys, but a lot of actors that big have just their own production companies.
I haven't seen anything about him yet.
Yeah, I think Benedict might have his own either theater company or production company that like the money he's made so far from his Marvel roles is enough to kind of sustain the work he wants to do for the rest of his life.
Yeah, then that's the thing. That's why he just keeps doing it. So then he can go do Frankenstein on the, what is it, theater? The British theater. I have this channel. And I watch...
The Old Vic?
No, I forget what it's called. I have the theater app that I watch so many British shows at this one theater. And it's always Benedict Cumberbatch doing these very small plays that no one ever hears of. And I'm like, oh yeah. I forget that he is a stage thespian, like doing stage things. But it's still like you want to have those houses, those mansions, and also pay for this theater.
But I think they already bought the houses. He probably bought a house back. He was doing pretty big roles.
He wants to buy more houses.
He was Smaug.
Remember when he was
Smaug in 2011?
He was the face of Californians using too much water on their houses, and then they had to like move to go find another house. It was like him and Britney Spears.
And Amy Poehler.
Poor Amy Poehler. Yeah, you guys use too much water. We don't have water. What are you doing? It's dry here. Get a dirty lawn. Or use turf, I guess. Like, I don't know what you guys want from us. You already have a house that clearly doesn't look like a normal house. It's a castle. Why do you need normal grass? This is a fight for another day.
The sad reality is, based off of our perennial wildfires we have now, if you want a house that's pretty wildfire immune, you kind of have to build an ugly stone block with just sand and rocks in the yard surrounding it. If you have lots of bushes, leaves, trees, grass, that stuff is flammable.
Also, those are things not native to California. Go to like the woods. Go to the woods of Northern California. We have this Mediterranean
climate here where like normal kind of, what's it called? Kentucky bluegrass or St. Augustine grass doesn't grow normally here in LA.
They're like, well, I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna okay, sorry. But it's still nice to have that money and not have to worry about doing anything else. Or if something does happen, if something gets sued, something gets burned down, something happens, he's like, oh well, it doesn't matter, I have the income. And as long as that Marvel money keeps coming, those are big checks they're getting too. He's checks. All I know from Andrew Garfield, he's still dating what's her name? They haven't shared their income yet, I'm sure. They're not married.
Sophie Turner?
Demi Moore.
Sophie
Turner?
Who's dating Sophie Turner?
That was the Jonas brother, and they divorced.
But who's dating her now?
There's no one dating her now. There might
Check
be.
Again.
Yeah, I wonder who it is. No, he's dating Demi Moore.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good for them. Good for both of them.
But it's like, I think he's pretty good. I think we also just need to do a comparison with every other time he's like denied being in things, period. Even the ones that he wasn't in. Because if he definitively have said no in other things, he's not saying no here. So what is it, Andrew Garfield? What are you hiding?
I think it's kind of hard to say no to Joshua Horowitz.
I guess
that guy floats, because I'm telling you, it's probably not confirmed at all yet. But Andrew Garfield knows it. Joshua Horowitz knows it. We know it, that he's manifesting it by even asking the question right now. And let's keep this flame alive is what I'm perfectly okay doing here at New Rockstars. Let's continue talking about this response here. Let's make it. Let's be the change we wish to see in the world.
With just to this though. Just to Andrew Garfield.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen, do not push it to other things. They're like, you know what? You're right. I will buy that gun.
I mean, why would that be the takeaway based off of the origin of the quote? Don't you think it would be like, oh, I'll go tail this ice truck that's driving through my neighborhood and blare my horn to alert people that these are here?
There's someone that's like, he's right. I should take this gun into that supermarket.
Thank you for telling me that, Erik Voss. I will do this awful thing.
We're talking about nerd things.
That's it. That's all I'm preaching here. Is just let's get Andrew Garfield in Secret Wars. We ride at dawn to get this happening, right?
Yeah. Oh, Andrew Garfield, such a sweet boy. Every single interview that boy does, someone brings up Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's all.
How long has it been? Which is fine. I think he doesn't mind it at this point. Like he would have said, like, please stop asking me. Like and I think that role only works for like Spider-Man. Like any person playing a Spider-Man, they're gonna ask you, are you gonna be playing Spider-Man?
Well, it's because he was so good in
We
No
like
Way
all our
Home.
Spider-Mans. I even like our Shamik Moore Spider-Man. And even in those interviews that Shamik Moore will get for anything else, people will bring up Spider-Man. I think it's also that we luckily get to see different versions of Spider-Man. That's like the only character. I mean, there's a lot of characters, but the main one that it's a position, not a person.
Yeah.
So it's like we get to see every kind of Spider-Man.
Well, based off of what we've talked about, do we think this takeaway that this could be happening is a scoop or a poop?
The takeaway that it's happening, I think this interview is a poop. I think this is a poop. The scoop, if that was what it was trademarked as, that he is going to be in Spider-Man because of this interview and then someone did some really good writing for it, I would say that's a good scoop. Actually, I don't even know if I'd say it's a good scoop because it's based off body language. And actors naturally lie a lot.
Mm-hmm. I grade the asking of the question and just this fun little interaction they had as a scoop. I think this is the seed that will one day we will revisit this moment and say that's where it started, right there. So for that, I graded a scoop. I grade myself and my interpretation of it as 100% A5 poop.
A5 Wagyu poop?
A5 Wagyu poop.
Damn.
What I've just been doing.
I want us to hold...
You don't even need a knife to cut this poop. That's the quality of poop that I've just served you.
I want us to hold that sentiment for other people that do this, though, too. Like, there's going to be a lot of scoopers that do interviews that are not that great as interviews or scoops that probably are the same as Josh Horowitz in some light. And they will start that, like, little seed that might blossom into something really big. And we can't shit on them.
I never should. I know how hard it is to sit across from them in a junket setting. It's just kind of like a thankless thing that you have to do day in, day out, and you're just one of many faces. It's hard for any of us to do this. So when someone can do it as well as Joshua,
is
and
so
there's
good.
a lot of people. There's
the guy from BBC is also very good. He looks exactly like Josh, just with shorter hair. They're all kind of brunette white men with glasses.
I think he's good at it. I think there's a guy named Kevin McCarthy, not the political figure, but another guy named Kevin McCarthy who's a film critic, is very good at it. He's so goddamn good at it. Because there's a certain selflessness that you have to convey, But it's also like I don't know what it is. I know what it is. They're just journalists. They're really good at just being like, no, you're going to answer this. Or not Perry
even being
Nemiroff is
Perry's really good.
just like,
I was going to say,
maybe the best.
It's depending on what you really want to say what journalism is. I still call it, this is just celebrity journalist. Amelia Dims is, I can't pronounce her last name. She does Chicken Shop Date. The way she does interviews, she will cut off right at that sentence and she will stare and wait for you to answer. And I'm like, nah, my biggest fault is I'll keep going. Or I'll frame the question and it seems kind of mean. And I'm like, no, let me react to it. And I have to redo it again. But she's really good too. They're good journalists. Hire journalists. Don't hire TikTok
influencers.
Dancers. I was going to say TikTok dancers. I feel like journalists...
What's wrong with TikTok dancers? They're not even going to ask the question. They just want to dance with you.
I got beef with all of them. First off, make a dance I can do. Secondly, don't do it to a song I hate. No. Influence, because I feel bad. Some influencers that are trying to be journalists that are actually like, it's hard to get into the market. Like, again, you named off like 3 people that have been here for years. Yeah. And it's like, I can't just jump into BBC Radio all of a sudden. I can't be like, hey, hire me. Even if I went to like school for it and trained in it and did all these things, like you got to start somewhere. And some of these people are starting on their own platforms. So I'm definitely like, those people, 100%, keep going. The people that are like, me just jumping out of nowhere and being like, do you like cats? I shouldn't be there.
I think you should be there. I think people want to know, Kevin Feige's answer to that question.
Let me interview David Zaslav.
Get him on the phone. Actually, boop, beep, pop, boop, 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 boop.
They're gonna
Hi,
say,
David.
I am a shill. David Zaslav. I have him on speed dial actually. No, oh my God! Don't quote that. I do not have David Zaslav on speed dial.
We really don't. What is speed dial anymore? Anyway,
Do we have speed dial?
Aren't all iPhone contacts speed dial technically?
No.
Yes, you touch a button and it calls them.
What was speed dial?
Speed dial
before?
was the difference. Rather than having to punch in each of the numbers, you have a programmed button that just takes you directly there, which is what all iPhone contacts are.
That's so sad. We're done. Yeah.
But we still use the term. I mean, I guarantee you Gen Alpha is going to be like, what is speed dial? And I'll say, I don't know. What's 6-7? Go next door if you want.
Guess who's going to get made fun of?
I will. But who's going to eat the Halloween candy? I will. Because you can't afford it.
What,
you
6-7?
don't have a job.
Oh, my God.
Happy Halloween. Hey, everybody. This has been a great episode of the Rumor Rundown. I just wanted to document this moment with Andrew Garfield because I think it will be important to the future. Mm-hmm. We'll come back to it. Thank you to Jessica for joining this conversation. Follow Jessica Lulu_Clemons. Follow me at EA Voss. Thank you to Brian Kim for producing and editing this episode of the Rumor Rundown. Subscribe to all the channels of the New Rockstars Network. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.